All right, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's take the music down. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome back to another Wild Card Wednesday. I am Maggie. You may know me from my cooking channel, Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Lucy and I have founded the Finishing School for the Modern Woman, which is a privately taught 8-week Saturday school for ladies 16 to 60 plus. We teach them femininity, elegance, and etiquette. We are in full swing in our winter session and getting ready to graduate our first class. This is your night. No monologue, no agenda. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat. You all can talk to us camera on or camera off. We do these once a week as our way of giving back. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself? Muted.
All right, already struggle streaming. Sorry, guys. I have a channel that's the content has been mostly Spanish, basic Spanish, but now this new year, I switched the content a little more for topics about elegance and femininity, and more to on the side of women over 50. So yeah, and I want to apologize to all when I'm typing. My keyboard sometimes gets stuck in some keys, and it's a brand new keyboard. It's a brand new keyboard, and it's acting out already. So if you see your name missing some letters, it's my keyboard. So sorry if I misspell some stuff. It's just it gets stuck, and I'm not sure what to do with it.
All right, no problem. Shout out to technology. It's not a stream if it's not a struggle stream. So Lucy and I are two older women. We believe the older women should teach the young, but this is open to anyone. This gives you all a taste of what it's like to work with us. Gillis has a question. She says, I have a question. I'm going to post it here shortly. Y'all don't laugh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and laugh now. So that I don't laugh later. But yes, we cannot wait. We have Conquer It with Drea in the house. My first time seeing you here. Lisa White is here. Hello on Instagram. Thank you. Hello on TikTok. If you all have questions, you can find us on my Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Luke Casely's channel is a simul stream, or you can put it in the chat here. Good evening, everyone. So I guess a couple of updates. So again, the Finishing School for the Modern Woman is in full swing. We only offer that once per quarter. So again, that's usually, that's what we're teaching right now. For the summer session, we're actually going to, instead of the Finishing School, let me see if I can show this to you all. This is usually what we teach once per quarter, but this summer we have a request from you all, and I'm doing some work behind the scenes. You all have been asking us to teach the little ones. So this summer, save the date for July, all Saturdays in July, we're going to come up with a 4-week class for our boys and girls from 5 to 15. So let's see what you all have in the chat. Okay, we're still waiting on the questions. I see everybody. In addition to that, we have a MaggieLu meetup that we are planning. The MaggieLu meetup is open to anyone. It's the weekend of our graduation, so we're having a happy hour the Friday before. This is going to be at Eclipse de Luna, which is a Spanish restaurant here in Atlanta, a tapas bar. We're going to do 9 rounds of appetizers to share, bottomless sangria, Latin music. We're just going to let our hair down and have a good time. If you want to join us, all are welcome. Go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. You can get your tickets and all of the information is there. All right. Am I missing anything, Lucy?
Um, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Bria or Brea Spires has a question.
So Brea is asking, Brea, please correct us. I'm saying Brea, but if it's wrong, please. Names are important. So we teach, and we'll probably keep the same time. No, I think we said we would do a little earlier for the kids. Did we say 1 p.m. Eastern, which was your 11 a.m. Pacific, Lucy? Is that what we
That sounds
said?
about right.
Okay, so they can have lunch or about to have lunch. And these sessions for the kids, they're going to be 45 minutes to an hour. Like all of our sessions, they will be in a private Zoom and you will have lifetime access to the material. So we have our curriculum all set out. We're ready to teach the kids this summer. Hello, doses of Alexis. Hello, everybody. Oh, it is Bria. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Hello, Christina's in the house. Yes, you all can find us on Spotify as well. All right, let's see. For the
Okay.
graduation, we have a question?
No, I don't. But I just wanted to let you and everyone know that as a precautionary, as a plan B, I have these talking points card games where, okay, so it's really cool actually. Um, it's got all these different colors, yellow, green, blue, and red. And the categories are get to know you questions, questions for family time, what makes you you, and fun and random questions. So if we don't get any questions here, I will pull these and ask everybody questions. I love that.
Okay, so Lucy is here with the icebreaker, so you all can chat your questions to us and we will answer them here. I will drop the link. You can be camera on or camera off. It's always your choice. Or Lucy's going to start calling names. Shout out to the teachers in the house. Okay, and just another Mark says, we love games. Let's have a game night. I thought you were bringing those to Eclipse de Luna. I thought you were bringing icebreakers. Maybe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So now I'm giving ideas. So maybe we can do that. Like maybe next week. Okay, now announcement, y'all. I do see a question. Announcement next week, Wednesday, is Valentine's Day. I will not be streaming. I already have a request to make. We're going to do Valentine's Day at home. I asked my man, are we going out for Valentine's Day? He was like, not on the day. I said, yes, sir. Okay, so we'll stay in and I'll be cooking. So we can either skip next Wednesday or if y'all want it on a different day, let us know. Bria says, what would be your go-to outfit for a candlelight concert date night in the spring? Okay, let me see. I'll take a stab at answering this and then Lucy can answer. In the spring, so I would want to wear something seasonally appropriate. Now, I have to admit, I had to hire a stylist. This is not my area of expertise, y'all. We did a collab with Ria, and she's helping me on another invitation I have. So I would probably wear some brighter colors. Candlelight means it's going to be evening, so you probably wouldn't want to go too floral, but I have some like black dresses with a little bit of like floral or something that's definitely feminine, or maybe a little bit of lace or any of those like delicate details that definitely say femininity. I don't know if this is an indoor concert or an outdoor concert, so I probably have my uniform, which I had to learn, is like the A-line dress, you know, the with the little waist, like think 1950s silhouette. I'd probably have like a little shoulder shawl and just something that's comfortable with either floral or lace detail. What would you wear, Lucy?
Oh, I would wear something similar. I mean, again, I'm into like the modesty part. I would do like a nice flowy midi length dress, something that you can wear maybe um either a jean jacket on top or a leather jacket to make it a little more trendy. So I think that, yeah, God, the possibilities are endless. And, it all depends in the mood. But again, if it's an outdoor or indoor, that's something to think about. Indoors, probably a little more dressy. Outdoors, something that will allow you to maybe, if it's going to be like a garden outside and you're going to be out there. So again, it all depends on the situation.
Yes, absolutely right. Bria says it's my 5-year wedding anniversary. Well, first of all, congratulations, sweetheart. That is amazing. We promote marriage and long-term relationships here. Lucy and I have both been in 2 marriages for Lucy, a marriage and a long-term for me. So that's the expertise that we speak from. She says I'm in the process of updating my wardrobe and have no clue what to do. Yes. So I will say you can check out Paper Doll Factory. My stylist, she does virtual. For example, I've been invited to a YouTube ball. I have no idea what to wear. And she does virtual consults. So I'll send her the invite. She'll send me some links of different things. She has like a virtual try on. You can get help. But like Lucy said, the key is to be appropriate for the venue, appropriate for the season, appropriate for the time of day. And you're with your husband. So I'm sure whatever you wear, he will say you look beautiful. All right, so Gillis is here. She says, I feel like if I was not able to snag a good one in my prime, how in the heck am I going to do that when I'm old and not so prime? I have lonely exes, nice guys, but nothing solid. Huh. Okay, so let me just repeat back for understanding. So you, like me and Lucy, are a woman of a particular age. I'm 48. Lucia says she's 57. And so I'm assuming never married and no kids, but obviously you don't want to buy a dog and die alone. Is all hope lost? Absolutely not. I think older women definitely can find love. We just have to be realistic about our choices. And if you didn't, to your point, if you didn't secure it when you were in your prime, and ladies, our prime years, youth and beauty, it's just what it is. Lucy and I were both married in our early 20s. So, if you chose to do other things, now you have life experience, but you want to focus on the type of life experience that's going to be beneficial to the husband that you want. So, the wisdom that you have, hopefully the discipline that you have, hopefully the life skills and the home skills that you've developed, even if you've had to develop them outside of a relationship, I would show my usefulness to a man that I'm interested in. But you say here you have lonely exes. So does that mean you have an ex that maybe you could reconnect with? Because that's my story. I fell in love young, but he wasn't ready, and I had to move on, and life brought us back together. So that's what I would say. What would you say, Lucy?
There's one thing she says that she has lovely exes, which I think it's a little different than lonely.
Reading is
So,
fundamental. Sorry.
so I know you're a fast reader. So, I have lovely exes, nice guys, but nothing solid. I mean, the fact that you have those exes around seems that you have that aura about you. So I don't know if you want to maybe go back to those lovely exes and see one that might be possible. Um, are you, and also, do you want them for companionship? Oh, we lost her. Oh, did we lose her? Oh, okay. Okay. So I don't know if you want them for companionship. Um, no, she says never with her exes. So I think that at this point, I think it's mostly for companionship. And there are men that want that. They don't want to have, somebody that has children. They want to, of course, they're going to be older, probably. I know that there are young men that like older women, but you have to take a look at the difference in the span in the age. So I think there is hope. You just have to know what your pros and cons are at this point.
Yes, Maggie can read. I just blow past things. Thank you all. Gila says, I don't mind being alone. I'm very happy now. I'm actually enjoying and not really seeking it. I'm thinking in a few more years, one would think I might change my mind. Yeah. I'm going to push back a little bit with respect. I think we are meant to live life with, I'm going to say, with a man. I think we're better. And I'm going to say, and Gillis, I love you, but I have to be honest. I think the fact that you're asking about it now means you want it now. I would want it now. If I ever found myself single again, I would be as quickly as I could. I mean, that's what I did. I got divorced about 6 months single, and then, I was like, the streets are not for Maggie. No. I would just say sometimes, ladies, when we say, one day my prince will come, or meh, I could take it or leave it. I see this in younger women too. And then what happens is 1 year turns into 5, turns into 10. And I do coaching and consults outside of YouTube. And I talk to women who they cannot believe they're where they are and they're still single. So I would just say, again, with respect, if you're thinking about it now, even though you're not actively searching, I would make sure that when I'm out, I'm pleasant, I'm looking approachable, I'm having conversations, I'm working my network. You could even tell your friends and colleagues and people if they're around the type of men that you would be interested in. Again, not desperate, but I would probably say something like, you know what? I found myself single again, but I still feel like I have a lot of love to give. And so if you know of a suitable gentleman, I'd be open to an introduction. Just leave it, at that, and just keep the relationship muscles kind of working. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels. That's what I would say. She says, never with the exes. Oh dear, y'all are on me. Okay, Maggie can read. Okay, they're not around. You're just saying you didn't have a bad experience. Now, that's a good thing. You've had good relationships, just giving a bit of background. You could also interview your exes. I remember Kevin said that. Would you add anything, Lucy?
I agree with everything you're saying, Maggie. And, I got to tell you, I met my husband at 40. But then again, I have to tell you that I think that what called his attention was that I looked younger. So again, the look, make sure that you look better than your competition next to you, because that's what they're going to be seeing. If you put 5 killies in front of me, and which one stacks better for me. Again, there are bachelors. My husband was a bachelor till 16 years ago. He probably has, you know, a past that I don't really want to know. I'm good with that. But, he saw something in me that he didn't see in anybody else. So there is hope. You just have to be welcoming, have an open heart about just meeting people, meeting men. Men are they're great. For the most part, the men I have met, I have not met those girls that say that men are this, men are that. I've never met one that has not been a gentleman to me. And I think that that's kind of the synergy. If you're nice, they're nice back to you. So again, they're there. You just be ready to welcome and start being friends with everybody that approaches you.
I agree. I'd be smiling and making eye contact at everybody. Well, I do that anyway. But I love this. Just another Mark says, it's not a bad thing to want and need a man, ladies. Trust me, it makes men happy. Let me tell y'all, I love mine up all the time. I tell him, I say thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. I respect you. I admire you. I desire you. I'm impressed by you. Like I tell him, I open my mouth and speak it out because I know out there in the world, like if you want him, other women want him too. And so we have to be realistic about that, ladies. Even when we have a man, we have to continue to compete for him. So a little loving spanking for you, Achilles. But she says, oh, you said something about men. You're into older partners. Zip it on the word, Maggie. I'm talking about a lot older. At this age, it's not so practical. Look, I have seen some 60-year-olds like, hey, you know, don't knock it because look, if they, yeah. So absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so Condemned wants to know, Lucy, what are the categories of your game cards?
Sorry.
You're
I'm
typing
trying to
them.
type at the same time. Okay,
Okay.
so they are get to know you, family time, what makes you you, and fun and random. And the game is called Talking Points Cards.
All right, so we're going to have an episode where y'all are on the hot seat. Lucy's going to be asking the questions. So Bria has a question for me. She says, Miss Maggie, did you do home dates when your boys were younger? You need ideas as you don't have much family support and you live far from the grandparents for babysitting right now. I understand. And when you have little ones, I mean, look, there was like a 5 year period, y'all, where I didn't know what was on TV. Like if I could get a meal out and a shower and like make it through the day, there was either like a baby on the way or I was nursing or what. It's just part of life. And I think it's a beautiful part of life, but this too shall pass. So to answer your question, depends on the age of the children. I find in my older years, it's like I'm happier at home. I went out into the city. I'm in Atlanta. I went out into the city for a conference today, and I was just like, ooh, the traffic, ooh, the everything. We would go out for kind of midday afternoon dates. We used to go out Sunday after church, like when the kids were little. What I would do if you don't have family close by, because I had to do this, the boys were born in another state, get to know the teenage girls in your neighborhood if they offer babysitting. I would also find out what other maybe stay-at-home moms or moms that have kids your age, because you are going to need a support system when you're raising kids. The boys are teenagers now, but Lucy and I are both immigrants, and it's just that community that just kind of pitches in to help. Sometimes grandmothers, somebody make me an auntie, like get married and then make me an auntie. But find mothers or grandmothers that would love to help out in that area, maybe make a little extra money. It really depends on, your level of comfort, the age of your children. But I would try and find somebody in your neighborhood or in your community that could help. But yeah, the truth is when the kids are small, your schedule just kind of revolves around them. That's just what it is. But it's a phase. Would you add anything, Lucy?
I agree with what you say, and it's hard to give advice when I don't have little ones. I do see my sister that has two boys, 6 and 8, or 7 and 9. I think they're growing. Two boys, man. They're full of energy and they're in jujitsu and they have them in everything. And they still, when they get home, they start. I mean, they are little Tasmanian devils because that energy is in them. So yes, get yourself make yourself a community of maybe other mothers that require that same support system, and hopefully you'll find it.
Absolutely. But yeah, if you got to do picnic dates or dates at the park or whatever, let the kids run. That's what you have to do. But you have your family, and that's what's important. So Gillis says there's a tangent here that's really important, but she doesn't want to share in mixed company. I understand. If we ever meet, you'll share over some drinks. Come to the meetup or come on the Maggie. We have the MaggieLu meetup, and then we have a cruise. I have a cruise coming up in November. So yeah, y'all, I'm in these YouTube streets. That doesn't sound good. Let's see what else y'all are talking about here. Let me scroll back up. Who do we have here? Oh, I'm glad you appreciate it. The International Quiet Storm says, shout out to Lucy and Maggie. Hello, sir. Always good to see you. Doses of Alexis is seeking advice. Ask away. Y'all have about 35 more minutes with us. We do this once a week. We may skip next week unless y'all want it on another day, but next Wednesday is Valentine's Day, so you're 7 days out. Lucy, are y'all doing anything for Valentine's, or what do you usually do for Valentine's?
Okay, so Doses of Alexis did ask the question. You got to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how your chat goes. That's weird. There you
There you
go.
go.
There.
There.
Okay. Doses of Alexis says, what tips do you have for young women needing to find patience? How to find patience? I muted myself. This is a beautiful question. And number one, let me commend you for asking, because the ladies in the finishing school will know. I see some of y'all in the chat. The first thing we talk about in week one is awareness and consideration of others. The most elegant women that you know, all the etiquette rules are really about considering others and not just being all about me. And we're up against something in this culture that we have where everything is so instant and everybody's got to pay attention to me. It is difficult to force yourself to not, react like that. So the first thing is to be aware of it. You have that. The question you have, what tips for finding patience? I would start with gratitude. And I know this sounds a little bit strange, but hear me out. When you are thankful and appreciative of everything, and if you speak it out or if you just kind of say, you know what, I'm so glad that I'm making it up. I drove into the city and back home and traffic was a breeze. What ends up happening is that you end up looking for things to be grateful for. So it slows you down because now you're observing with a different eye because you're practicing gratitude, whether you journal it or speak it or whatnot. And then when you catch yourself, having an impulsive moment, because I struggle with this too, be gentle to yourself and realize we're all a work in progress, but then you'll start to be more mindful of it. And then in our finishing school, we even have some students that say, okay, hold on, let me focus, and you'll redirect yourself. But it is a skill and it is a muscle that you will be able to improve with practice. What would you say, Lucy?
I agree. It takes practice, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it. Also, practice breathing. When you hear yourself that you're going to jump in and try to correct or try to do something, take a step back and take a deep breath and think a little bit about why is it that you're going to jump in to either correct or say something when it might not even be necessary for you to say something. In fact, once you start being a little more patient and taking and making yourself more centered, people are going to gravitate to you because they're going to say, wow, she has this energy about her that I want to be around her. She doesn't really say much. I just want to be around her. And that heart and mind of gratitude helps a lot. Wake up in the morning, thinking, I don't know if you're spiritual, I don't know if you believe in God or, the universe, thanking for the what this new day brings you. Thank you, for bringing me a new day and teaching me the things that I'm going to learn all day. And then at night, think again, be grateful for the day, what it brought you, and for the things that you learned throughout the day. So, but it does take a hobby again, maybe gardening. Gardening allows you to be a lot patient because you want to see those vegetables or the fruits growing. Maybe a pottery class. Pottery is so because you're using your hands, you're trying to pay attention to the teacher and how they're instructing you. So again, just take on things, hobbies that will take your mind into something, maybe volunteering at old folks home, because when you're talking to older people as an older person, they like to be heard. They like to tell stories, and that's what's going to teach you to listen and to pay attention. So there are some things that you can do to find that patience to, to not respond so quickly.
I thought that was you, Alexis, but I never want to out our students. Some of you all are in the chat. You know who you are. And Alexis has said, I am in the finishing school thanks to you and Miss Lucy. So, yes, we are so happy to have you here. And I agree. That hobby, I even saw that from Dr. Cash. He says, take up a hobby, maybe gardening. But when you do, and I was born that way. Like I just have a lot of in it. Like I'm always doing stuff. And my man is like, you're always doing stuff. Just sit down. And I'm like, oh, okay. But find something productive. And like Lucy said, find something that's helpful. Older people, children, if you have the patience for it, pets, if you like animals, but anybody who's in need forces you to kind of slow down. Bria says gardening definitely requires patience. Yeah, I don't have a green thumb. And y'all don't ask me about these animals. But anyway, what other questions do you all have for us? We're about the halfway mark. Again, you can type it in the chat. We love answering your questions, or you can click the link and be camera on or camera off. And yeah, this is so much fun. Oh dear. Okay. Anything else, Lucy?
All right. So also raising animals, but if you get a few chickens, you'll end up with farm like us to proceed with. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness, that is one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube. All these homemakers that have a farm and then they take care of animals and they go in the morning. Being a farm person is one of the hardest jobs because you got to wake up in the morning, you have to go feed the animals. I would love to do that. In fact, one of my questions here, I'm sorry, you just got me excited. Uh, oh, if you could make money, this is one of the questions. If you could make money doing whatever you love to do, what would you want to do for a living? And for me, I would love to have a farm and take care of my chickens and my animals. And I think that that might be the thing I retire to. I've been talking to my husband about it, and he's like, "Oh Lord," because I've been wanting chickens in my backyard. But he goes, "How are we gonna have chickens with these two massive dogs? They will never have eggs because I didn't know that chickens, when they get scared, they can't have eggs." So anyway, okay, so there, so Maggie, so if you could make money doing whatever you love to do, what would you do or want to do for a living?
I already know, y'all, and I have told you I am a small town girl with big dreams. I would be a travel and food blogger. I want to travel all over the world. I don't want to just eat the food. Of course, I like to eat clearly. That's a problem. I want to learn the culture. I want to learn how to cook the meals. I want to understand why people eat the way that they do. Like, anything, because food is so universal, it brings people together in every culture. I would be a travel and food blogger. That's what I would do. Oh my goodness. Gillis says nothing. That's what I would do if I didn't need the money. That would be so cool. All right, y'all can answer in the chat. If money was no object, what would you do with your time? Bria is team chicken. She says chickens are the best. We've loved raising them and they've taught the kids so much. Cannot relate, but I am so happy to hear that. Oh, Bria wants to know, Lucy, how was Shen Yun? And you wanted to go with your best friend.
It was amazing. It's a, I went with my parents, and for me, the message that it has, it kind of hits me because it comes from a political side. It talks about, communism and how all these folks that are in the whole show, they cannot get back to their country because they've been expatriated because of what they do. So I love it. It's colorful, it's fun, it tells stories. They speak in English and Chinese. And, the storytelling is amazing and the dancing as well. I love it. I suggest it. And I'm glad that I went with my parents. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Absolutely. And while we're waiting on the questions and the comments, I'm actually going to pull up a trailer. So for anyone who doesn't know, Shen Yun, I've seen it at least 5 times. They come to Atlanta every year, but when they came to Atlanta this year, I was laid off. So I was like, let me just watch the spending. So I missed it this year, but it is an incredible performance art traveling company. It's dance, it's music, it's, a little bit of comedy. But what's so beautiful about it is that one of the things I love about travel, I'm taking a tangent, is that you don't have an appreciation, or I didn't have an appreciation for how young the United States is until you go to countries where their culture has been in place for thousands of years. So this is talking about China before communism. So the Chinese culture, the Chinese traditional dance before, whatever happened, and now it's a communist country. So I am going to share my screen. It's a 30-second trailer. I'll play this for you all, and then we'll get back to the questions. But I love to educate, so I'm going to show you all this. And let me make sure my sound is on, and I'll mute myself so it doesn't echo because I struggle with that.
The highest art is beautiful, moving, inspired by the divine. Experience Yun.
All right, did that play?
It
Hopefully
was
it did. Y'all
glitching
were
a
able
little
to see
bit,
that?
Glitching a little bit,
Oh,
but we
okay.
saw a
Well,
little bit and we heard a little
a
bit.
little bit.
okay. All right. Well, let's see what other questions you all have for me and Lucy. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Hello, everybody on TikTok. Yes, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, part of the Wives Club. So many everywhere. We've got Samuel the Infamous. What else are y'all talking about? Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Me and my struggle stream. Okay. Any other questions? I'm just scrolling. Oh, y'all are talking about dresses. I'm going back in case I missed anything. Okay, so here come Lucy asked what we would do if money was no object. The Condemned says, I would love to get paid doing martial arts. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Okay, sorry. Another outburst. And voiceover work for various shows, movies, narrations, and books. I have heard the Condemned's voice, and it is, I can't even do it. It's very deep and distinct. Shout out to We Are Not the Same, but you didn't ask me that. Erin Laura says if money was no object, she would chill out on a farm by the ocean. That is her dream. She always wanted to retire on the East Coast where your dad is from, on a small island life if money was no object. Oh, a girl can dream. Tara just saw Shen Yun. She thought it was amazing. Yes, it is incredibly amazing. Yes, absolutely. All right, am I missing any questions? Oh, we have just another mark. Question. What would you all say is a reasonable price for an engagement ring nowadays? Oh, this is a hot button item. Because my man will flat out say, that's ridiculous. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. To answer your question, and I know the ladies are going to scream, but I would say $2,000 to $5,000. Like, I'm not really a huge like I have some nice things, but people spending double digits, and to me it's just too much. Now, ladies, the history, here's your etiquette, your unsolicited etiquette lesson. The ring was basically like a symbol of his ability to provide for the woman that he's asking to take his name. So we don't take men by the nose and say, this is what I want, because he is the one asking, he is the one offering. You either accept with grace or you exit with grace. Now, of course, if he asks you what are your preferences or, wants to try on things, that's fine. But I think that just like weddings, like the ring, it's just gotten so ridiculous. And I remember when I was married, like I would take it off to cook sometimes. So just a simple, band. What really matters is the marriage and not the ring. You can always upsize it. What would you say, Lucy?
I agree. And any woman that demands a specific amount on a ring should give you pause, gentlemen. Usually, I mean, the two times that I married, the first and the second time, they decided what it was, and I was so happy to have that ring. It's that commitment, is that it's just the beginning. 20 years from now, my husband can afford a ring that is, 50,000, but 20 years from now, I would say that's a waste of money. We can spend that money traveling or doing other things, building our pool in the backyard, doing more practical. So again, when you're looking into making a commitment with that woman, I would say if I was a man, I would look at the reaction on how we talk about how much money we would spend on an engagement ring. And that should be either a green flag or a red flag of maybe postponing asking that question or not asking it at all.
Ooh, all right. I don't know if anyone else wants to take a stab at answering, ladies or gentlemen. What do you think is a fair price? I know they say two months salary, but that's a lot of money. I just, and I'm with Lucy. I mean, having been married, and having been divorced, like what really matters is the relationship. And, my ex-husband and I co-parent really well. I just can't see it. I would rather take that money and travel with it. But, hey, just another Mark says some of these women are demanding 50,000 for a ring. The gall. Just the fact that a woman would even demand like, oh, I I think so highly of marriage. And when a man proposes, he's basically saying, if one of us has to die, I'm willing to take that on and you will continue my legacy. And as a boy mom, I don't know, I just look at things so differently now that I have sons. If a woman demanded, like, who are you? Like, if there's only enough food for one sandwich, are you going to go hungry? No, he is. If there's a bump in the night, are you going to go look it up? No, he is. I mean, like, if anybody has to sacrifice, that's what a man takes on when he asks a woman to be his bride. Don't get me started. Escape the Rat Race says, my son just paid $2,500 and he said that was low. I feel like I don't even have a place to speak on what a man spends, but I'd be fine with that. I would take a gold band. Beak says, I thought the rule of thumb was 3 months of a man's income. Some people would say that. Ugh. Oh, y'all are still talking. Lisa says, the more expensive the wedding, the shorter the marriage. Ask me how I know. Oh dear. Man, all the skeletons are coming out tonight. Gillis has got bodies buried. Lisa's got bodies buried. What is going on tonight? Bria says, definitely a waste to overspend on a ring. I don't know how much my ring costs. I love that. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I want to, it's $1 billion. I'm happy with it. It could be a little, well, it won't be, but it could be, something simple. I don't know how much my ring costs. And I could care less. It hasn't turned my finger green, so I'm okay. And you know what? Bria's going on her 5-year anniversary with her husband and looking for childcare for her kids. So, in my opinion, Bria has won. I will take a marriage and family over a big rock any day. So, y'all can miss me with that. Yeah, think about her safety every day. Gillis says, yeah, who does that? Not even with just a ring, with anything, to demand anything for something that's given to you. What did I just say about gratitude? Didn't we just talk about being grateful? It's downright embarrassing. Would you add anything, Lucy?
I agree with Killis, and it's also not feminine or elegant. A feminine lady would never be um, focused on how much things cost, because again, some of these women that are looking at cost of things, it's not because of the man, it's to show off to other women. So again, gentlemen, just be careful of, how these women are demanding things from you, because again, for whatever reason, the world has taught us that we are the prize, but we're not. We attach to our prize, our men, and then we become the whole deal. So again, once a woman starts demanding or making these um, I don't know, these rules about what it would take for you to make a commitment to her, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah, I wish I would demand something. I would be on the side of the road so fast. Like, I mean, I know we joke about it, but this is a really good teachable moment, ladies. It's not up to you. You can ask, you can say what you like, you could hint, you could do whatever, but a man offers what he offers. You either accept it or you don't, like a lot of things. But yeah, that demanding, oh my goodness, that is just, and I'm going to expand it, ladies, when it comes to dating, excuse me, when it comes to housing, when it comes to so many things. I think it's turned upside down. Women have these long checklists that a man has to do, or else, you do not, get the benefit of, being in my presence. Well, ladies, when you do that and you discount the value of a man, who he is in your life, his character, his decision making, his protection, his provision, all of these things, you find yourself alone. And then you have no ring and, no relationship. So just really be careful about that. Yes, and Bria says showing gratitude gets you so much more. And ladies, let me tell you about that. That gratitude, be grateful for the small things. See what you get. Ask me how I know. Um, since we're talking about money, my man is he's like a 1% man, and we were talking one day, and he asked me. He said, "I'm embarrassed to say, but I'll say it." He's like, "Babe, what would you want for an allowance?" And I was like, "What is that?" Because I'm not one of those. And he was like, just your own money. And I'm like, okay, like to do groceries and stuff like that. He was like, no, like your weekly allowance. I'm like, okay, so I need to pay for this and that. He was like, no, I pay for everything. What is your allowance? And I gave an amount that apparently was low, because if I'm not having to provide anything, like I don't really need that much. He was like, that's all. And I was like, wait a minute. Was there a range? You didn't tell me. Like I didn't know. Can I do a do-over? But being humble and being grateful, everything opens up for you. Let's see. AG says my ring was $400 from a pawn shop, but I love it. And I was married young, and my husband couldn't afford one at 19, but I married for love. And 4 years later, I received my ring, and it's perfect, at least to me. There's the mic drop. I'm done. I don't have anything else to say. What would you add, Lucy?
That's exactly it. AG just showed how men move. Usually, if they cannot get it at the beginning, they're working towards something. And 4 years later, you got it. And that's how they move it. You don't have to demand, you don't have to ask. You know that in their minds, they're working towards something. Let them, at their own time, they will provide you with that will surprise you.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, Lucy and I both have a connection to the late, great Kevin Samuels. And one of the things that he said, ladies, all jokes aside, we don't understand men. We don't take the time to study them. We think we know everything. We listen to what other women say who aren't in the kind of relationships that we want. And we let them poison us as to who men really are. Men are hunters, they are providers. They want to go kill that wildebeest and bring it home and impress their woman. That is the character of a man. I was thinking about this earlier, like when the boys were little and they didn't have anything, they would go in the garden and get flowers and say, Mommy, these are for you. Like boys naturally, I know, right? And they're teenagers now, but boys naturally want to impress the woman that matters to them. So if you are humble and grateful, like Bria said, and you see that man has a vision for his life, he's on his purpose, he has a role for you to play as a helpmate for him, go ahead and lock that down and hold your position. I am. And everything opens up to you. Trust me, he will give his last for the right woman. Yeah. Would you add anything, Lucy?
And make sure you acknowledge those little things. Just the fact that you can say, "Oh, baby, I love that thing that you did for me the other day. Thank you." Of course, they like that it wasn't a big deal, but in their hearts and their minds, they love that. They love that reinforcement because again, they do everything for us. Like I've said before, they want to be our heroes, and we most acknowledge that heroic thing that they did for us just because, nobody else does it. We are the ones next to them. We are the ones that are going to be, till death do us part. So we need to let them know that we are here with them and we support them and celebrate all of the wins that they do for us.
Absolutely. And look at this. AG says, I've been married 12 years and we have 3 beautiful babies. I could cry. I'm so blessed to be able to be a stay-at-home mother. My husband takes care of us and it is enough for me. I need another mic to drop. Look, with a $400 pawn shop ring that is glistening through the interwebs and I can't even see it. I'm telling you, if that is not a win, and ladies, all jokes aside, but the relationships that last the test of time, all of us have a story. All of us overcame something. That's what makes it so sweet. Like that's what makes, like I'm looking forward to Valentine's Day and I'm going to be cooking whatever he wants, steak, fish, bacon wrapped asparagus. But we've had so many of those fancy things. It's like, you know what? Let's just stay in. And it's those moments that are just so precious. I am so happy to hear that, AG. Thank you for blessing us with that little testimony. And got married young, got her kids. 10-year anniversary, 25-year anniversary, 30 years. She'll have that rock and everybody will be like, how do I get one of those? She earned it. She earned it. Yes, isn't that sweet? Don't we love that? Okay, here comes Killis with the crime shows. If you watch crime shows with these men, uh,
Mean ass women.
Lucy! Not Lucy! Oh, it's fine. With these mean women abusing their men that do everything for them, they even unalive them over insurance. And many of us are here, normal people and no catch. What I say, you want a man. Don't come in here talking about I don't need one for the next 20 years. Yeah, we are going to get, I am on Killis match up project. Yeah, you and me need to talking about I don't need one right now. Thank you for the love, AG. There's another spanking for you. Dr. Cash says, Lucy and Maggie, do you understand men? If so, what do you know about men that you didn't know before? What I have learned with men is that respect trumps love. And as a woman, I know how we love, and it's that emotional feeling of love that don't mean nothing to men. If you respect him, if you Um, honor him with the way that you carry yourself. If you, like my man tells me, Maggie, you know how to stay on brand. If you stay on brand, and you show him respect and you keep your private things out of other people's, listening ears, that is love to a man. That's what I learned. What did you learn, Lucy?
I agree. I learned from Kevin Samuels that respect equals love for men. And, there are some things that, unfortunately, as women, we've been either taught or we see on TV, um, to kind of um, put men down, these little sarcastic comments and these little games that we play. Stop that. That's not how you respect a man. We give our men their place as the leader of our home, and and we'll ride with them until the last day on earth. And it's also that a lot of men are lonely, and some of them don't get to know what the real meaning of love from a woman is from beginning to end, and that to me is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking because we see all of these entitled women talking badly about men, when you see all these men that they could be going through their own storms inside without anybody to love them, but they still have to face everything about the world every day without, and then all these women pile on to them like they mean nothing to us.
Yes, we love the men here. We love all of you. Thank you for watching, whether you're in the chat, whether you watch the replay. Thank you for supporting us. Tara says, well said, Miss Maggie. You either accept it or you don't. It really does go back to being grateful. There's so many ladies out there. Men aren't even looking their way. Be glad he's asking you, ladies. Exactly. Bring on the $400 ring. Let's go. One thing that my man said that I'll share with you ladies as we wrap up, and this really touched me. I'm a late bloomer. I'm kind of, the nerdy girl that, grew up and, kind of did whatever. Now that I'm older, I'm more confident. But one of the things that we really discount, and I see this now that I'm a boy mom, I think within every man, there's a little bit of little boy joy still inside them. And my job, like I love to bring that out of, grown men, whether it's a meal or a smile or whatever I can do, that little thing that I can do to help them feel like I actually see you and care for you. Like Kevin Samuel said, if you exclude the athletes and entertainers, okay, you were born with a gift, you just have that. Men that have had to make themselves, ladies, and I work in tech, for example, but if you find a man who is either in corporate or has his own business or whatever, there was a part of his life where he was either a nerd or like looked over, or like Lucy said, just kind of shunned, or maybe he was awkward. Men just take longer to grow into who they are, right? And so a lot of ladies are waiting for him to get to the finish line and they're like, here I am. But he remembers the women that, wouldn't give him the time of day until now, here I am and you're all interested. So we're not fooling anyone. But just be mindful of that when you can really love a man and respect who he is. And especially like AG, as young as, teens is young, but, early 20s, that man is just like, he will slay dragons for you because he knows you really believed in him and you were there before all of this. So yeah, be mindful because they definitely go through a struggle, and men have to go through that struggle. I learned that the hard way too. They have to go through that struggle, and often, ladies, and probably even more importantly, they have to do it away from you. That's the thing. We want to hold on and we want to be there, but no, a man has to come of age on his own. But when he is ready, you will know. What would you say, Lucy?
And that's a very important point that you make, and that's the reason why fathers are so important in the, to have them around, because the dad is the one that tells the son that some of these struggles are necessary for them to grow into themselves. So again, single mother homes, we want to mother our children. We want to mother our sons, and we want to keep them from getting hurt or but again, it is our it's okay to let them go, to go find themselves on their own. Otherwise, they're not going to be well adjusted in society as men. You're muted.
We have a Cash App and a comment as we close out. Sinji, I was just thinking about you today because you sent me a gift certificate to a restaurant, and I checked that expiration date, and I promise you I'm going to use it because I was out and about today. But Sinji says, Auntie Maggie and Hermana Lu Casely, just dropping by to say hello. Happy early Valentine's. A brother has taken a reprieve from social media. Good for you. As Ron Burgundy says, stay classy, San Diego. And Maggie, check your Cash App. So thank you so much for the 2775 for Sinji. I am grateful. Y'all don't even have to be here, but you come through and you support us like that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bria with the 99 cents. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Yes, shout out to the men. Bravo. Thank you all. We love you. We appreciate you. 8 out of 10. I don't know what that was, but okay. Jay says, always ask a well-experienced man if you want to know about a man. Yeah. Ladies, I mean, we love our boys, and I've shared with you, the boys live with their father now that they're teenagers. I've done my part. They live with their dad, and they come and visit me, and they're the better for it. Yes, disrespect. Yeah, a man will leave over disrespect. Yeah, especially if she's not apologetic. Thank y'all for supporting, because if men stay, women interpret that as he will tolerate it. Yeah, men, you got to check the women. You have to. Even I get a talking to sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay, let me fall back. Goodness, you're not gonna get kicked out. Oh, thank you, Dr. Cash. Alejandra says, something that is new about men for me is the way they share that they care about you. They are more simple and straight. Drink more water, please. If you talk more soft, they get melted. I love that. Yes. All right. So any final thoughts to close us out? We do this for an hour, y'all. So thank you so much. Any final thoughts, Lucy?
I love those questions. It makes you want to ponder more about things, about the men in your life, and it makes you appreciate them more. At least on this side, we we kind of understand men. I mean, we try every day, but again, we're women. And like I've said before, if men knew what goes on in our minds, I don't think that they could be in our bodies, because the emotional turmoil that we find ourselves every single second of our lives, they couldn't take it. They're like, take me back to my man body, because I don't want to be here, because we can be a little crazy. But we try to love and understand our men, and mainly respect them.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better. Yes, Jay says men are protectors and they mainly protect the women from themselves. And I receive that. This is true. I need protection. Sometimes I will do things and he'll just ask, did you think this through? And I can honestly say, no, I did not. Let me stop and do that now. Ladies, again, you will hear me say it. We are not equal. We are equally valued. We are not the same. We are very different, but I think we are beautiful together. But yes, we try and we try hard. So we welcome the men. You have a voice here. We respect you so much, and we're trying to learn. And we can admit that we don't know everything. So this is it for this episode of Ask Us Anything. Now, next Wednesday, is Valentine's Day. I hope you all are celebrating with your man or woman. So we will not be here. If y'all want us to do this on a different day, we can next week, or we can just skip next week and see you all in 2 weeks. But thank you all so much for being here. Shout out to the ladies in the finishing school. I'm gonna get that survey out tonight. And yeah, thank you, Bria. Thank you, Sinji. Until the next time, bye everyone.
Adios.
Adios.